Hey, good evening, CJ 101. Dr. Koopman here, and welcome to week 8. We are here, week 8. Um, it's great. Really, just 3 weeks now until the end of the term. So, week 8 is the week I've been telling you is your week to do the second journal article review. Um, I put a little note in the Canvas course shell, so it should send you an update where I've updated the articles for week 8. It's basically just a reminder for you to go in to that module. You'll find everything there in the module, from the PowerPoints to the learning guides to the instructions for the actual assignment, as well as the articles that are in a separate link. And I think there's about five or six articles, ranging from fines and forfeitures, legalization of marijuana, white collar crime, some more of that. I think terrorism. There's an article or two on that. Fines and forfeitures should not be confused with no cash bail. That's a different topic. Fines and forfeitures were a historic issue that came under scrutiny several years ago, where you'd be, driving through a municipality, say a little county in a remote area, and you might get levied with some fines because of some minor infractions that were pretty excessive, and sometimes in terms of drug interdictions in particular, they began to look at how much is reasonable for law enforcement to have folks forfeit property. With drug dealers, if you're a serious drug dealer, a law was passed decades ago where you could lose whatever property law enforcement wanted to seize that was involved in your drug trade, whether it's the car you're driving, whether it's the house you're using to process drugs or manufacture drugs or deal drugs. So property forfeiture is still a thing when it comes to trying to interdict for hard drugs. Oregon, of course, is infamous for being one of 50 states that passed legalized a series of what we would consider hard drugs, narcotics, and our drug addiction rate has increased by 50%. Go figure. So, interesting conversations on the legalization of drugs, not marijuana. Marijuana is kind of a separate issue in terms of law enforcement. Most law enforcement folks that I've worked with in the past didn't have a big issue when it came to marijuana. It is what it is. So there is some interesting research coming out though on some of the less than expected negative impacts of marijuana on anxiety and overall emotional wellness. So interesting. Stand by for more research on that. I know some universities are studying that. Can't even speak tonight. So, without further ado, just a couple quick reminders. Read the instructions, same as last time. It's going to be fine. 4 pages. You all can do it. You've done this before. 4 pages. About a page each for each category. That's introduction, summary, analysis of the issues at hand, analysis of the article and the topic. The third issue is your own thoughts. We need a section where you talk about where you're at with the issues and include some outside resources to support the journal article. And then finally, a conclusion. That's super important. Always include a conclusion. And it's usually at least a couple paragraphs. So 4 pages of writing plus on the 5th page is where we want to see the reference list. Again, be sure and double check your proper format so you don't lose points on that. You're doing great. This is an excellent class. I really appreciate all of you. You're good writers, so don't put this off. Don't get paralyzed with perfectionism. Write a draft and get at least half of it done over the next couple days, and then go back to it and wrap up. But my main message is start early, get a draft done, don't put it off till the end. Okay, I've gone a little long on this, and it's been a long weekend. It's had a great time, but I better wrap up and wish you all a good week number 8. Have a good evening.